All right, welcome back to the Wake Up Call on Extreme on 4.3 FM, 88.5. At this time, we're going to be talking about the teachers. Yesterday was day one of a protest in Kingstown. Today will be day number two. We say good morning to the president of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Union, Mr. OSWALD Robinson. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, good morning, good morning to St. Vincent and Grenadines. Good morning, Estelle.
All right. How are things going, generally speaking?
Well, fine, thank you. Give God thanks for everything. We have life, we have health, you know, and everybody in good spirits at the time being.
Okay. All right. So I think first we should make a stop at last week, Thursday. That meeting between yourself and other members and the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You made several proposals to the government. How successful was that meeting?
Well, I should say we had a very good meeting, very cordial, very healthy conversation. We had submitted a proposal to the government, 10% over a 2-year period.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at the economy now rebounding, we saw exactly that this year is almost coming to an end. So we made a decision that we should go for next year, 2023, 2024, 2025.
Okay.
But we have not pinned down a figure as yet, because even our proposal was for a period, 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we have decided that we are going for a 3-year period, then we will have to revisit that 10%.
Okay, so
The discussions are not conclusive, ongoing.
okay. So would it be the 10% across the 3 years, or it wouldn't be that figure in total?
No, we would have to revisit that 10% because
Okay.
now we are going for 3 years. Then obvious it should be more.
Okay. Like 2% more, like 12, 15%? Or
Well,
you
we
haven't.
haven't pinned down a figure yet. We have to meet with the Public Service Union and to finalize. We got a hello.
Hi. Uh-huh.
We got a response from the government, and there is a little bit of clash because we also have the governor of the East Caribbean Central Bank on that same day. So I am having a conversation with the first vice president of the Public Service Union, because the president is out of state, to see how we are going to work this out. Because both organizations are invited to meet with the governor of the East Caribbean Central Bank, and the government wants us to meet with their team on the same day.
Okay.
So I got the information last night. I have to inform my executive so that we could decide how we are going to navigate these two events.
Okay. Is it possible for you to share what you have planned to talk about with the government, well, governor of the central bank?
The governor normally comes every year, and they would give a review. They would speak about the state of the economy in the OECS countries. They would zero down on St. Vincent and the Grenadines performance. They would talk about the economic shock, what are the prospects for the future, that sort of thing. And we would raise any matter concerns we have, and we would exchange.
Okay. You guys made some other suggestions in your letter to the government of SVG. Could you give us a response on those?
Well,
For
the issue
example,
of the
the
VAT,
1%.
the issue of the VAT, government doesn't want to touch the VAT. In fact, they said to us, if you have any reduction in the VAT, or we were even asking for temporary suspension of the VAT, like say a month or two,
Mhm.
that will not benefit the worker. They say that would benefit the supermarket, right? So, because that's one of the big sources of revenue for government. When you look at the figures, they have been increasing. When you look at the tax that they are getting from the hospitality industries, like the hotels and so on, that has increased. Government general revenue would have increased over the years in every sector, right? So the environment is conducive for an increase in salary for public sector workers. Now, we one of the things we said that the government should set up a negotiating team, and they were very receptive to that. There was one little grumbling about, oh, this is an old-fashioned way of negotiation. It can't be old-fashioned because the ILO conventions make provision, our constitution makes provision for collective bargaining. And the way we understand it is that you would set up a team, the government will set up a team, and you meet. If there are policy issues, then you'll prefer to discuss those with the politicians
Okay.
because those would be outside the ambit of a negotiating team. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to push for raising the tax threshold in terms of your income.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is that you would start to pay tax if you're making like say $20,000 a year, right? The
Right.
persons below that don't really pay tax. So we want to raise the tax threshold up to like the 22,000, even 23,000, right?
Didn't your letter say 25,000?
Yeah, but that is an error really, and we corrected that in the last meeting. The
Okay.
persons above that income, we are asking that you reduce your personal income tax. We have not pinned down a figure yet, but we are, as I said, we are in the conversation. We're still in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It is ongoing. It is work in progress. And I think we are making some strides. We are very happy that the government has decided to set up a team to meet with us. And we are fine tuning our strategies and whatever we have to put forward as we go forward.
Okay.
We
How?
think it's a very good initiative where you have to give Jack its jacket and you have
Mm-hmm.
to give Rover its bone. Normally when the government does bad as a trade union, you would say you do bad. When you do good, you say you do good.
Mm-hmm.
You must be balanced, you must be fair in your approach. And we are going there to negotiate in good faith
Mm-hmm.
because the responsibility is on our shoulders to give the best representation to workers. Because as you know, the last increase was in 2020, which was just about a 1%, which rolled over from the years before.
Mm-hmm.
And the point of the matter is, for some people, that 1% was just about $13. And the purchasing power of the worker would have gradually, steadily eroded as a result of the high hike in inflation.
Mm-hmm.
Simmons and Grannies has experienced the highest rate of inflation for the last decade, and this has really have a serious impact on the purchasing power of the pockets of our workers. We saw oil prices went up. There was an increase in the custom levy, you know, and generally prices went up. And when other workers and even persons who want to start up a small business, when they were given a stimulus, the public sector workers still had to meet ends meet with just their meager salary.
Right.
It's like from paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
We know, yes, there was a volcanic eruption, there was COVID, but at the time when they froze salary, government froze salary increases in 2019, right? When that was done, the public sector workers they had greater expenditures because you have to buy masks, you have to buy things related for hand sanitization, and that sort of thing. And now that transportation has increased, yes, we're not knocking the persons who are benefiting because we believe that the minivans and the taxis they deserve an increase, and we're happy for them. We commend them for that because they have been bearing the burden of bad roads, have to buy vehicle parts, and that sort of thing. So we're happy for them, but at the same time, we have to also strive to see how we could live a reasonable, comfortable life. Because if you're living from paycheck to paycheck, the
Right.
electricity bills alone is one issue. You know, and you have your families to feed, you have your children to send to school, you know, and that sort of thing. Really, really tough. And now that we are seeing by next year, this year the economy should grow by 5%.
Right.
That's projected growth. And one of the things that we know for sure is that the East Caribbean Central Bank and the IMF, based on their predictions, the government of St. Vincent and Grenadines would be in a position to give a reasonable increase in salary for public sector workers and still maintain their 14% of the budget for salary and wages.
Okay.
Because, the Honorable Minister, in his budgetary presentation, he said that they want to cut the budget for salary and wages from 14% to 12%. But the IMF and the East Caribbean Central Bank is saying, based on the projection for growth and based on the minister's own submissions in the government's budget, that the economy would rebound and quoted all the increases. The revenue would have increased, generally speaking. We think that next year would be a better time to have the increase 2023, 2024, 2025. But why are we having this conversation now?
Right.
We want to ensure that we catch the budget. And budget is in November. By the end of November, that document should be completed. So when the new year starts, if we are going to do the budgetary discussion in the month of January, we would have met the yardstick, if you want to say
Oh,
that.
the deadline per se.
Yeah, yeah. We want to make sure we don't want the government to legislate salary as it would have done in past. We want to have meaningful conversation, and at the end of the day, everybody could be happy that we had a conversation and we look out for the best. Because workers in this country, when you invest in the workers, it's an investment. Salary increase is an investment. When you put more money into the hands of the workers, then that is one way of stimulating the economy. Because if workers would spend, that would generate revenue back again to the government. Again, it would also help to reduce the migration rate because a lot of forces are leaving and migrating. And that could more or less help to reduce what we call the brain drainage. Because if your people with the expertise are leaving the country, seeking greener pastures, then this is a way of the government trying to help to reduce the level of migration that we're having.
I
On
mean,
the other hand, also, those of our teachers who are unemployed, we're looking forward that this matter would be resolved in the court and that the government will reinstate the workers and we'll work out the benefits. We could sit down and have a conversation um, with the government in terms of the compensation for them. And then it's important that we pay attention to that because, UNICEF has mentioned unemployment in the OECS in Vincent and the Grenadines are one of the highest. And if a lot of people know, especially the working class, are off the job, that also contributes to poverty. So we have to watch those social indicators and make sure we deliberate in good faith. And then at the end of the day, we could restore people's livelihood to some form of normalcy.
okay.
All right. Mr. Robertson, good morning.
Good morning.
Question. All right. The negotiations you made a while ago. Who would they benefit?
Pardon me?
Your negotiations, right? That you
Uh-huh.
made earlier. Who would they benefit?
Who would benefit?
Yeah.
Well, the Vincent and public.
Private sector too.
Yes, everybody, because when the government has a policy, now I can't speak for the government, but I know the practice is, the principle is, whenever the government gives an increase, they would ask the private sector workers to do the same.
Mm.
You see, it's just being fair.
They would ask the private sector, but that doesn't make it
It doesn't
mandatory.
mean they would give the same figure, but they would ask them to do likewise, fall in line,
Okay.
so that everybody could benefit.
All right.
For example, when the teachers union and the public service union, when we combine effort and we ask for any benefit, every all the other workers will benefit. Even persons who are not unionized, they will benefit
Okay.
because the government can't give one set of workers this and neglect the others. Doesn't work that way.
All right.
The
Okay.
economy itself will get a boost because people have more money, more disposable income, and then they'll be able to purchase more. Because it could imagine that you have not received any substantive increase in salary for so many years, and you are going to the supermarket. The value of $100 is about 85 dollars. You're going to the supermarket with at least 15 to $20 less, and there are basic items that you have to buy. And we believe the principle of a healthy worker should be a productive worker, and workers have to eat healthy.
Mhm.
And the healthy foods, they are expensive. And then
That is
remember, the
true.
workers have their dependencies. There are people they have to depend on them to provide for them.
All right. I want to bring you.
You don't want
Oh,
to have public sector workers going around and begging. It wouldn't.
you
It's
don't want to
not
have
a,
workers point blank. All
exactly.
right. I want to bring you forward to today. What is happening today? What are your outlooks on today based on what has happened already? You guys are
Well,
supposed to hit the streets today again.
yes, we are going back to protest. We have received permission from the police to march the street.
You
There was
got
a little
permission to
error in
protest?
yes. We are going to march. We are going to picket. There was a little error in the letter from the police where it says that uh, it refers to the traffic. I think they deleted the word not. I think it's a typographical error, but we are a responsible organization, and even though there's an error, we would not use it at our advantage to create problems to anybody in the society. We are exercising our democratic right to march and protest, but we are not infringing on the rights of people to go along the business and conduct the business. Protest normally, generally speaking, is designed, and there are some people may not agree with me by saying the latter part of what I'm going to say. But we know protest generally is designed to create some kind of obstruction. I'm using the word obstruction here or
Hmm.
there, right? But we believe if we're exercising our fundamental rights, we believe we must not violate the rights of others. People should go about their normal duties and that sort of thing. If the road is blocked and the police comes on, then we will comply.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I was referring to the fourth instruction that the police gave, and I think it's an error, where it says the traffic must be hindered. The free flow of traffic must be hindered. I think they deleted the word not.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from now.
Yeah. As educators, when we see these things, we don't really jump at it and create, but we have to speak about it so that the message to get out that it's an error.
Okay, no
So,
problem.
So
so do
today
you?
we will go back our peaceful picket. We will march. We'll sing our trade union songs. We'll sing gospel songs. Any song about freedom and equality and justice. We'll sing those songs. We are not going to defame anybody, slander anybody, because it makes no sense you do that when you want the public interest on your side. And the public at large has been very supportive. There are persons who are working. We know they really can't leave their job in town. Um, it would be nice if they could ask permission of their bosses and come. But the tooting of the horn, the people from the stores, they are in solidarity. They are waving. We are getting the
Mm-hmm.
vibe,
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
people would say. Um, so that has been very good. We are asking our teachers to come out Many of our teachers are in schools, the conditions are not favorable for teaching.
Right. So you don't
Just
expect a
come
huge
out and
turnout
make a
this morning.
sacrifice for once. It's not a lot. It's not a whole week of protest.
Uh-huh.
Making that sacrifice for yourself, for your own self, for the children, the nation of the children. We're talking about we need more quality teachers in the classroom, and we want that to be accomplished. We want the parents. Parents have to take a stand. As I said some time ago, this issue is not only about getting back the teachers in the classroom, but also that the nation's children will get more of the nation's quality teachers. We have quality teachers in the classroom,
Okay.
but we need more. And these persons who have been fired, if we get them back into the classroom, things would be better for our nation's children, the future of education. A lot of schools still do not have the adequate staffing, and those who are in the classroom have to double up. That is extra stress. Our teachers are dying. We have had 11 teachers died for this year alone. From last year to now, it's 16. And the age group ranging all from 38 up to 55, it's a wide age. And most of these teachers are vaccinated.
All right.
I am not going to
I,
divulge anybody's
I,
medical condition.
I was actually going to ask you about that too.
I have to act in a very responsible manner. Whatever I say in the public domain,
Mhm.
I do not want to create any offense to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
We want
Yeah.
to
Uh-huh.
congratulate the students in the performance at CXC, the teachers, the principal, the students. Even though we have not seen the exact figures as yet, we are told that most of them have been pretty low. We know for those schools that have their full staff, they would have done quite well, and we commend everybody, the parents, the hard work that they put in. Um, must be commendable. There are issues related to some results. I understand based on what the Minister of Education would have said. And we're looking forward to this tertiary sector that the government is going to set up.
Okay.
There is always room for change. I don't want to make any adverse, negative statements. You have to be up to change and up to change. Where changes are necessary. If it's for the good, for the better, then we embrace it. If it's not working, then we'll come back and make a comment on it. But we know for a fact that the Education Act was amended. An act was passed in the House of Parliament on the 26th of July that amended the Education Act number 34 of 2006, section 1, where the word minister was deleted, and a new act has been passed called the Miscellaneous Act, and the word minister is inserted in that act, and it says that the minister here is the minister responsible for the subject matter. The CXC Act also has been amended, section 1, and the word minister has been deleted from that also. Same thing for the Accreditation and Higher Education Act,
Oh.
Community College Act, and the Sector Skill Training Act. All those acts have been amended and the word minister has been deleted. And the word minister in those acts were referring to the Minister of Education. So if I understand it quite well, it means that a lot of these responsibilities now will go to a minister. Okay?
Mm.
So
Okay.
in layman language, it comes as if you have removed some of those responsibilities from the Ministry of Education and you're placing them in a sector. Because you can't have two ministers of education. I mean, you can't have two ministries of education. So it's like you're separating some of the powers from the Ministry of Education and you're putting them into a sector, probably another minister of government would be the minister responsible for those areas.
Right. So it will only make sense based on what we know happened now.
Yes.
Now it's 8 o'clock, so we gotta wrap it up now because we're
And
over
thanks for
time.
allowing me to speak on your program.
Not a problem. All
All
the
the best.
best today.
Thank you very much.
All right. Any updates? Feel free to reach out to us with the updates.
Sure, sure.
All right.
Okay.
You have
All
a
the
good
best.
day. Thank you so
Thank
All
you.
much.
right. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
All right. So there you have